crazy yellow people walking through my head. One of them's got a gun to shoot the other one. And yet together they were friends at school. Oh, get it, get it, get it. If all were there when we first took the pill, then maybe miracles will happen as we speak. But we're never going to survive unless we get a little crazy. This is the Community Solutions Podcast. Jason Bradley, Andrew Richter. Lick a sense anymore. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing okay, but taking a red pill is better than taking a blue pill, so that's okay there. I think I know the song.
You do?
I heard the word crazy. That means either Prince or Patsy Cline.
Well, no.
So I'm going to take it was Prince.
It was neither.
No, I heard crazy in there. So you said let's go
could have
crazy.
been Ozzy Osbourne Crazy Train, too.
But with Ozzy, you can't understand it. So I don't.
Well, he wasn't singing it. I was reading it.
Oh, okay.
And he was much younger when he recorded that song.
Yeah, younger, and he'd done just a tad less acid, I think, by then. But, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. If it's not, I think I should get partial credit there because I was kind of right that Crazy was Prince, right? So that's
no.
And Crazy was Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
So
I mean that's all true, and but that's not the song. No, this song is called "Crazy" by Seal.
Seal.
Yes, you know this song.
I do.
Came out like in the 90s, yeah.
I was around then.
But we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy.
Yeah, I might have heard that.
You might have heard that.
On WLTE back then or something.
All right.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I got that one right. All right. So, Jay, by the way, I just want to say something real quick. Our favorite sports commissioner.
No.
Rod Manfred has publicly said by 2024 we will have automated umpiring behind home plate.
They're getting rid of umpires or just
I don't really understand
balls and
it.
Strikes.
Apparently the Pacific Coast League right now is experimenting with this, but everything they've experimented with in the minors has come to the majors. Be it replay, be it the guy on second with one out in extra innings or whatever. So my guess is this does come to the majors after 200 years of umpiring.
Let me tell you this. They did a lot of experimenting back in the 60s and 70s, and that didn't work out very good for us either.
Well, true, but I mean, so look for like, maybe it'll be the ding. What's the machine in tennis? Where when you hit Cyclops, is that what it's called?
I don't know. I don't watch tennis.
Oh, okay. Well, if you miss the serve, you hear a ding like that.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be something like that. I think just a nightmare. I have an idea. If you don't like balls and strikes, go up there and swing the bat. That's my idea.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a strike. So, I mean, the strike zone has shrunk enough just in our lifetime. I mean, it used to be from the chest to the knees. Now it's from like the thighs to the upper knees. So, I mean, there's just it's like trying to drop it in a like a little shoebox or something.
You should come and see one of my son's games where it's about from the ankles to over the head. Not always the best strike zone there at those things.
They must not be paying the umps a living wage over there. You know what? I don't care if the pitch over the head is a strike. As long as it is for everybody, then it's fair.
That's true.
It's kind of like cheating. If everybody can cheat, then it's fair. It's just
I guess it's not cheating anymore.
Who cheats the most? That's who usually wins. It's like I tell my nephews. It's whether you win or lose. It's not how you play the game. So it's lessons for the children. I mean, it's better than transsexual stuff.
Well, you might have a point there.
Yeah. Okay. Jay, I got to ask you. We haven't. First off, happy 4th to you.
Yes.
It's a good time of year.
Yes. Happy Independence Day.
Absolutely. We should say Independence Day and not the 4th.
Absolutely. That's my take on it.
It's like saying Xmas instead of Christmas. The X is there to take the Christ out of Christmas.
Not really. Actually, X it was a symbol for Christ back in the way back times.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually that's not true, but I think people have done a fine job taking the Christ out of Christmas with or without the X. So it's
true.
Yes. But the same thing with, I think that's true with the 4th. It's like, okay, the 4th of July doesn't mean a lot, but Independence Day, I mean, that is the day that
They just want a paid day off.
We no longer had a king.
Yeah. I mean, I think like we've talked about before, colonial times, in Revolutionary War, your average knows nothing about it. And I mean nothing. I mean, not a single thing.
Yeah.
You know, George Washington crossed the Delaware, they think it was a state.
Right.
I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it's just kind of the truth, and that's sad. I mean, me being a Civil War buff, people know less about that. That's drives me crazy. But I got to tell you, Jay, I got to get to this real quick.
Okay.
I have to ask you a question. Give me an honest answer.
All right.
Did you, not implying that you often don't, but I always say to people, never say hey to be totally honest, because that implies you often aren't. Okay?
Right.
But did you ever think Roe v. Wade would be overturned in your lifetime? Did you ever think that would happen?
I did not. I prayed about it.
So what was your reaction when you heard the news that the case or the case had been overturned?
Well, I should say when it got leaked, I was fairly certain that was going to stick. I didn't think that people were going to change their opinion. I pretty much believed from that point on that we would see that. And I thought it would be the last case that they released. I didn't think they were going to just bam on a Friday morning. There you go.
There's still a lot more to come if what I heard is right.
Yeah. You know, and my reaction was one of there was still some shock involved. You know, I'm like,
I'm still
what?
shocked.
What? Yeah. It happened. It happened, you know. I was just kind of standing in the middle of my living room looking at my TV trying to get ready for the day, you know. It's like, oh my word, it happened. But then there was also this sobering thought about, okay, now is really when the real work begins, because you have 50 states in which you have to try and convince them that life matters, you know, and they're not all going to come down in the same place. You're never going to have Alabama agreeing with California. You know, and you're going to have states that come in the middle.
On anything,
right.
Let alone abortion.
Right. And so you're going to have people that come in a full range between the two. And so, I guess that's the way the Constitution is designed, so that's the way it's supposed to be.
Let me ask you something about that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at 50 different states, you look at any issue, and they're all different. You know, they all have differences on the death penalty. They all have different tax rates. They all have different, you know, I mean, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because here's the thing. President Biden, in his wisdom, LOL, has called for like a federal law allowing the justices specifically said that this is to the people in the states.
Right.
You know, those pesky 9th and 10th Amendments. I mean, I don't know that that would survive judicial review on that. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is too big of an issue to be different everywhere, or is this the way it should be, that 50 states make their own law, according to the Constitution?
Yeah, 50 states should make their own law according to the Constitution when it comes to things that happen in their state. I mean, I consider abortion murder. I do. But in each state, they handle murder, you know. That's not handled federally unless it meets certain criteria. And I think there's a possibility that there are certain criteria that could be met to evoke a federal case. And so there's going to have to be some federal law that follows this. I mean, there's just going to have to be. And what it is, I don't know. I mean, are we going to allow people to cross state lines to get an abortion? That all of a sudden takes in, interstate commerce.
Yeah, well, and it's already happening. I mean, there are governors who've signed executive orders, including Tim Walz, said that they're not going to prosecute
And-
or extradite if anyone wants to come and do that in their state.
And then there's, mail ordering abortion pills. Well, I'm sorry, but if you're in a state where it considers it murder and you're bringing those in, you're still committing the murderous act. And there are states, let's say, I think Minnesota is one of them, where you're not allowed to mail order wine or whatever it is. I don't know if that's true here, but there are states where you can't bring those kinds of things in via mail. Well, at what point then, and whether that's a state law, I think they would probably have
Maybe
to figure that out.
ATF might
But
have
they
jurisdiction there.
They might. Our DEA maybe, or I don't know how that would work. If you're ordering something that should be illegal in your state and it's crossing state lines to get to you, there's going to be some federal issues to figure out there. That's just the way it is.
It could take 10 years to figure out.
Well, it could. Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
that's
I
the
think
reality of it.
I think in states you're going to have judicial challenges. Again, I point to why the Supreme Court should not be making social policy. I mean, if you go back to, here's my question.
Yeah.
Why is it that 9 lawyers in robes get to decide everything for everybody? I mean, forget this ruling. Go back to the original case
Yes.
from 1973. I mean, the idea that 9 lawyers in robes, actually 7, get to just decide this issue forever
Yeah.
is laughable on its face. I mean,
It should have been.
forget what you think about the issue.
Right.
Okay.
It should never have been the law of the land.
Yeah, and
Not ever.
And why is it that I'm allowed to vote on everything except abortion? I can't vote on that,
Right.
but I can vote on everything else. What is wrong with allowing the people to decide whether they're going to have abortion or not, or what limits they're going to put on it, or so on and so forth?
I don't know. I mean, we do live in a representative republic, one where we elect people to go make those kinds of decisions for us. So, I mean, in a way, we do. I mean, we don't get. It's not a democracy.
Right.
We don't get direct.
We don't if the courts decide it, though. I mean,
Right, and that's not the way
Yeah.
it's supposed to be either.
But I tell
Courts
you-
don't make law.
But I tell you, conservatives have been hypocrites on this
Oh,
because
yes.
they've gone after Obamacare this way. Of course, when they had the majorities, they could have done something about it. They didn't
Yeah,
do anything.
could have.
So I mean,
They could have.
So to me, both sides are trying to use the judiciary.
I mean, they are. I think with the Obama decision, the Obamacare decision, that was more around trying to figure out the constitutionality of Obamacare. I think that's what the court is for. Does this pass muster with the Constitution? Yes or no? That's why it's there. It's a check and a balance on the legislature and on the executive branch. However, you're right. Both sides do use it to legislate, and it should not be legislated from the bench. Make a law, pass the law, sign it into law.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the issue, the courts have become so political that it's hard to separate
Yeah.
the judicial review, if you will,
Yeah.
with, I mean, if somebody's going to, look, if a judge can't understand the difference between, the law and their personal opinion, okay, they don't belong on the bench. I mean,
Oh, absolutely
and
not.
what's funny
Yeah.
is we just had Justice Jackson approved to the Supreme Court.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo.
Yeah. And remember her statement
Yes.
not knowing what a woman was.
Right.
Now all of a sudden all the liberals all remember.
Oh, I'm sure they
Now
all know
they
what
all
a woman
know.
is. Yeah.
It's women's rights now. But
Right.
before we couldn't remember that 2 months ago.
Maybe it's birthing people rights. I
Birthing
mean, a
people
man
rights.
can get an abortion if he can get pregnant.
Okay. I
I
stand
know.
corrected.
I know.
guess.
I feel like an idiot even saying that. That's stupid. But yeah. No, I get it. But there's probably tens of thousands of laws within the U.S. code that probably technically doesn't fall under constitutional jurisdiction and should be tossed out. And It would be nice if the court would visit those things and toss out everything that's not found in the Constitution, because it's a charter of negative liberties. This is what you're allowed to do, no more.
Yeah, well, now keep in mind, states have constitutions,
Yep.
and cities
Absolutely.
have charters, and there's I think there's some gray. I don't want to say gray area. There really isn't, but as a legally governing body, they do have the right to make constitutional law. Now, Jay, what do you think happens here? I mean, let's take a state. Take a purple state.
Okay.
You know, I'll throw out Pennsylvania. I'll throw out Wisconsin. I'll throw out, Arizona. Mm-hmm. And let's just say the one side wants no abortion under any circumstance. The other side, wants abortion up to the second before birth.
Right.
What comes out of a state like that? I mean, what do you think? I mean, it's a tough issue to compromise on because...
It is, but I mean, you look at the reality of the numbers, and you've got maybe 30% of people that believe that abortion is okay after the first trimester, and you've only got about 17 that believe it's okay in the third trimester up till birth. It's a very small minority. So you've got a very small vocal minority that are pushing for something that really the vast majority of the country does not believe in.
That's true. I mean, even people who are not pro-life do not favor late-term abortions under a lot of cases.
Right.
So there is a middle there. So do you think states like that settle on a first trimester as a quote-unquote compromise? Do they, which I hate putting it that way. But
I don't like it at all. I don't want to see any compromise. If there were, rape and incest.
Yeah, but like we've said, that's not so simple.
It's a baby. It's a baby. It's a life in my eyes, But even that's not acceptable to me. But I understand the trauma that goes along with those situations, and it's a terrible thing. And that's a hard decision to make. But let me say that I wouldn't be favor of, and I would... I would favor walking it back and walking it back and walking it back and walking it back. I think a lot of times, though, we look for the perfect law. Right?
I know. Yeah.
And instead of being progressive, or maybe regressive is the better word, where
going in the right direction.
Where
incrementally,
anything that
happens.
We can get to move in the right direction is better than where we're at. So why don't we work for progress to save those lives and see how far we can get? That would be my solution, because we're not Missouri and Minnesota.
Well, but I mean, that's also like, waiting for a tax bill that, there's 100 things in it and you disagree with 3.
Right.
So you're not going to, I mean, you're right, a perfect bill. And in most states, it's not going to happen. Most states, it's not good. You're going to have some states, I think, that ban it outright.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you may.
Missouri already has.
Well, Mississippi has like a 15-day law,
something
or
like
something.
that. It's.
I know that was being challenged, but I mean, they implemented it regardless. I think Oklahoma has a real strict one as well.
They do.
And I know a lot of states have banned late-term abortion a while back. I mean, that's something that's been fought for a long time. Well, as your future governor, I guess it bestows on me to sign something, Jay.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see some legislation from the conservatives.
You won't see it until next January.
I know.
They're going to run from it until then. I hate telling you that. But
I don't even know if it's going to get out of committee. Even if we have the Senate, the House, and the governor's mansion, I don't know that we're going to see anything come out of committee.
Well, I think you may see what you're talking about. You may see progress, but not a bill that the pro-life movement has fought for 50 years. I think you're going to see incremental steps, but not what the pro-lifers really want, which is to really put a teeth into something.
Well, and I know that's what I'm in favor of. But we got to look at it a little different. We won't sign this because it's still killing babies. But how many lives is it saving that otherwise wouldn't get saved? And that's how we have to look at it. Let's start saving lives, slicing off portions of, okay, we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing that anymore. We're not going to do this. And we just have to start kind of taking a scalpel to it and seeing, okay, what can we slice off? Who can we save? Who can we save? You know, it's like Schindler's List. He couldn't save all the Jews, but the ones that he could get, he did. That didn't mean he was killing everybody else that ended up going to the concentration camps.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, I fear a bill like that reaching my desk when I'm governor, Jay.
Yeah?
Just because my gut would tell me to veto it, but maybe I got to take your...
Saving lives. It's not about, you know, if you veto it and no lives get saved, that's far worse.
Yeah. I just think it's an issue where it's very hard to satisfy everybody. I mean, it's maybe that issue more than any issue. It's just almost impossible, because I am one who also believes abortion should have never been legal in the first place.
Absolutely.
Having said that,
Yep.
and I'd like to work towards, and I personally would never even consider an abortion.
No.
But when I don't know, I would listen to all sides. Let's just put it that way. As your governor, I'm committing to that.
Yeah.
So just, I got 4.5 years before it's on my shoulders.
Well, and I don't think that they have to write laws that allow for certain types of abortions. We already allow abortions here in Minnesota. So start writing state statutes that will start restricting certain things. You don't have to write a law allowing anything because it's already allowed.
Yeah. And
so start making the restrictions.
And quite frankly, the governor has no business doing these executive orders.
No.
He's basically saying if something's a crime, he isn't going to, I mean, that's absurd. It's just absurd what he's doing. I'm not shocked at it.
He's not doing his job.
He's a man with no conscience.
He's supposed to execute the law. Execute the law.
Yeah, and he's failed at it completely. So.
Yeah, well.
But we'll save walls for another day. Jay?
Yes.
We haven't talked about Brooklyn Center for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
One of your favorite cities.
Oh, I love it this time
Ain't
of year. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
The way that the trash rolls down the gutters of the street, the way it fills up the parking lots. I love it.
Okay.
Yes.
I have something to say here first. The family of Dante Wright, Brooklyn Center has agreed to pay $3.25 million to that family.
Oh, my word.
It is believed to be
the
third largest payout of its kind in the history of Minnesota.
Which makes it the third dumbest decision in the... Yeah,
I take that outside of Minneapolis.
Oh.
I should take that.
I see.
The law firm,
Yes.
which is a Chicago-based law firm,
Of course it is.
Roman, Susie, and Blandon.
Romance Susie Blandon. What?
Susie, ROMANUCCI. Yeah, I know. You had it at an Italian restaurant the other day.
Yes.
The settlement reflects historic financial accountability, particularly when the small size and limited resources of Brooklyn Center are considered. Really? They just shelled out $3.25 million.
Yeah.
I want to know who's paying that.
The taxpayers are paying that. Of course.
So they're the ones that are paying it?
Well, I'm sure it comes out of the city coffers, and so... Well, I don't know. I mean, did it come from League of Minnesota Cities? Is that how it works? Even then, that comes from dues, which comes from tax money.
Well, the Wright family's legal... This is according to the Sun Post. The Wright family's legal representation said the aim of the settlement was not to hurt Brooklyn Center residents by causing financial hardship.
Well,
can I ask a question?
Kind of did.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why are his family members, and I mean no, I don't mean anything by this, but why are they entitled to money from the city? I mean, they prosecuted the person who killed
Yeah.
and I do believe it was accidental. I think
too.
I think Kim Potter was actually convicted of one thing too high. I would not have, have gone. That's me. But the person is being held accountable. Why is their family entitled to $3 million?
Yeah, why are they going after the city and not a civil case against Kim Potter?
Well, but I mean, again, not everything is meant to be a civil case.
Well, I know, but like with OJ, there was a civil case
Right.
and there was a criminal case.
That's true.
If this had happened, say, let's say, I don't know, I can't think. Some trucking company, Mayflower Trucking. Is that even around anymore? Old Dominion. That's a trucking
I
company.
think the
right?
Mayflower sank with the Titanic.
Yeah. Let's say a driver fell asleep, crashed into a car, killed somebody. Is the driver responsible or is Mayflower responsible? I don't know. I guess that would be.
Well, to me, if a driver fell asleep, I don't understand how unless the company forced him to work too many hours.
Right.
There are trucking regulations.
Right, but from the sounds of this, police department isn't suffering anything. Kim Potter's taking the brunt of this. She's the one that went to prison. There was never anything I heard of where they were forcing her to do too many hours. She was on the job training. Unless you're going to correct me.
It was accidental, so I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was done. The City of Brooklyn Center and its insurer, the League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust, have agreed to the $3.25 million in exchange for release of the city, its employees, from any claims or actions stemming from Mr. Wright's death. So, the insurance, which of course we pay for anyway, so it's
right.
I don't know. The agreement includes changes to policies and training related to traffic stops for equipment violations that do not interfere with the safety of the driver, passenger, or members of the community. Well, I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have expired, I've been pulled over for expired tabs.
I got pulled over for expired tabs, but I had bought them, and somebody stole them off my car.
Really?
Yeah, but they were able to look it up. So they're just like, go get
white
some...
people get pulled over for that too. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
imagine
mean,
that.
The point I'm trying to get at is their solution to it is if you're doing something wrong to just let you do it.
Yeah.
That's the solution now. That's what we've agreed to.
Yes.
Of course, you could also not drive away when you have a warrant out for you. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, that usually doesn't end well.
Yes.
So I mean, I just think it's very frustrating. I don't know why these family members are entitled to millions of dollars. It bothers me. Every single case now is going to be sued, and somebody thinks that they're going to get a huge pot at the end of the rainbow here. And I think it's just unfair. It's unfair to the taxpayers because they are paying the brunt of this. Mm-hmm. And the person who did it has been held accountable. And I don't think this family should get a nickel. I'm sorry, I don't.
They should not. Like I said, if you want to go after Kim Potter in a civil suit, that's different. But
Kim Potter doesn't have the deep pockets.
No, she doesn't.
That's the difference.
Right, that is the difference. That is the difference.
Yeah,
people
who gets sued?
The Goldmans went after OJ. They didn't go after. I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying.
They didn't go after the Buffalo Bills. They didn't go after Los Angeles, California. They didn't go after.
Yeah, it's silly.
They didn't go after the Naked Gun. They went after him. That's the way it should work.
Yeah, unfortunately, who has the deep pockets, and also unfortunately,
a
lot of these people are willing to settle. They're just willing to settle, just to get it to go away, not realizing that settling just invites more cases.
Yeah,
there's going to be another and another and another and another. It's kind of like you allow your kid to skip out on curfew. What are the odds they're going to try it again and again and again and again? And the kids push the boundaries. That's what they do. And this is, lawyers. They're pretty much kids. So
well, that's how our courts system has gotten so screwed up is because they push trial, but then, that ends up with people getting convicted of things they shouldn't get convicted of. It ends up screwing up people's lives. It ends up really with a more litigious system than what we've got, and it's a shame.
Also in Brooklyn Center, they're discussing, by the way, we're doing the mess around, right?
I guess so, yeah.
A little tribute to Ray Charles here, a little mess around.
Okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Brooklyn Center is considering some charter changes, some charter amendments.
Oh, I bet they're good.
Oh.
I bet they're fantastic.
to change something with the city manager, Jay. They're want to allow the city manager to sign off on certain expenses up to a certain amount of money. That they will be able to do that without the mayor.
I don't remember ever voting for a city manager so that they should have the ability to do things when they're not accountable.
Oh yes, you did, Jay. You did
really?
do that. Oh yes.
Oh,
no question about it.
Huh. Why not? Why not put more money in the hands of unaccountable people? That sounds like a great idea.
Well, it would require contracts
Oh.
in accordance with the city's purchasing policy. Basically putting contracts below $175,000 in the consent agenda. If you want to call it that. Anything above that would have to come before the council. Councilmember Dan Ryan. I'll tell you what, if I have a nickel for every time I've heard somebody in government say what I'm about to read,
Yeah.
I would not only be a gazillionaire, I'd have I'd own 30 islands, the entire Fijis or something I would own.
Yeah.
Councilmember Dan Ryan, no relation to Nolan, says that the change would streamline the process.
I have heard that.
If government
Plenty.
streamlines the process, if they do it as much as they say they do, you should never hear the term red tape again.
No. And every time they want to streamline something, it takes something away from the voter. In a certain county that shall remain nameless, or should we name them? I don't know. They recently had taken was the county recorder position away and made it an appointed position because it was going to streamline the process. Come on.
We all know that that's BS.
Yeah. Come on.
Councilmember Marquita Butler and Mayor Mike Elliott, maintain the change would remove checks and balances. Rare time I agree with Mr. Elliott.
Absolutely.
Council members Chris Lawrence Anderson and Brooklyn Center City Manager Reggie Edwards. Why does the city manager get a vote in this?
They shouldn't ever have a vote on anything. They're not elected.
Said the city council sets the purchasing policy, therefore they provide the accountability. Huh?
Really?
That's interesting.
So, Andrew, if you were going to give me $20 and told me to go to the store to get a pizza for the oven and a loaf of bread, and I came back and said, "Hey, I bought a bunch of lottery tickets," you would be very happy with me. You gave me $20. You told me to spend it.
That in and of itself would be interesting if I did that.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, for the example that we have here, I went and spent it on something you didn't ask me to, but you authorized my spending of $20. You would be upset with me.
Yeah, that's like my
no
dad.
accountability there.
Like my dad giving me money as a kid.
Yeah.
Boy, he expected his change, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet.
Apparently, this needs unanimous council approval to go on the ballot in November. A second charter amendment. Whenever the council passes an ordinance or a resolution, it must be signed by the mayor within 48 hours. If the mayor doesn't sign it, it goes to the mayor pro temp. Which is weird. Why does it have to be signed within 48 hours?
Wait, what now?
Okay. A second charter amendment change would stipulate that whenever the council passes an ordinance or a resolution, it has to be signed by the mayor within 48 hours. the mayor does not sign it within 48 hours, it will be signed by the mayor pro temp. What's the big deal about 48 hours?
I don't understand. So it's almost like they're building a veto in, but they're really not, because the mayor pro tem can sign it in a law.
Well, I don't really understand. I mean, if I know the mayor is supposed to sign as one of their duties.
Yes.
But what is the deal with 48 hours? Is there a hurry to pass a resolution? I mean,
I wonder if there's something that we don't know about yet that's coming down the pike.
There's
If
always
a
some-
reason
there's
they're
always
doing
something
this.
we don't know.
There's a reason they're doing this.
Remember, that's a given.
We don't know what it is yet, but that seems weird. Now, I'm in favor of giving the mayor a veto.
Right. I mean,
absolutely, I am, because the mayor should be an executive, not part of the legislative branch. And we've talked about this, that there should be some sort of part-time strong mayor position. You shouldn't have to be full-time mayor to be a strong mayor. There should be a veto. However, by just allowing the mayor pro tem to sign it, if the mayor doesn't sign it, yeah, I don't know what that accomplishes. It just changes the name on the document.
I'm confused.
Yes.
Let's jump to Plymouth,
Okay.
city I live in.
Yes.
Here is their newsletter, their latest newsletter. I want to get your reaction to this.
Okay.
Community and here's another word. Oh, this word's as bad as sustainable. Okay?
Yes.
That I'm about to read. Community and economic development changes encourage the C word, Jay. Collaboration.
Yes.
That's just another word that, holy cow, if I could remove it from the English language, I would remove it yesterday. I'd move it so fast, my shorts would have to catch up with me. I would remove it that fast. A recently merged department that serves as a one-stop shop for this is from their newsletter. Businesses, developers, and the Community Economic Development Department. Say that quickly. Includes recently filling 2 new key staff positions aimed at fostering increased collaboration. So 2 new positions being hired over at Plymouth to help manage ongoing development and redevelopment projects and better serve the community as it evolves. The city retooled and recently filled 2 key positions in the department: the planning and development manager and the housing and economic development manager. That's interesting. Don't they have a city planner and a
Community development director?
don't they already have those positions? So now we're going to have the planning and development director and the housing and economic development manager. Are we rearranging the deck chairs, or what are we doing there?
Couldn't tell you.
Once again, there's a little too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yeah, that's it. Granted, now there's some of Plymouth that has not yet been developed.
And there's some that need redevelopment.
Well, sure.
I don't live far from like the Four Seasons Mall or
Right.
but I mean, I don't see where it requires. Of course, it's all to streamline the process. It's
Right.
all for collaboration.
Of course it is. Collaboration. That just means that there's more people sitting around during the day, sucking up your money, talking and having meetings.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly
Just
what that means.
figuring out more ways
We're-
to screw you.
We're sitting in a meeting room collaborating all day.
One bad idea after another.
Oh.
Let's get the worst idea we could.
Yeah.
Repackage it and send it to the city council. Listen to this next paragraph.
Okay.
It might answer what you just said, though.
All right.
The city's housing and economic development manager. Okay, we need an acronym for that. Is responsible for overseeing this is the key, of overseeing a variety of housing and home repair programs to ensure Plymouth offers life cycle housing to residents, as well as spearhead redevelopments and economic development strategies to help the city continue to attract and retain businesses. Now, let me put that a different way. We have to change the city and this person is going to somehow be involved in forcing that change.
Yes.
We're going to life cycle house. We're not going to let the market decide that.
Right.
We're going to decide what kind of homes go where. We're going to. We just did a podcast on this as to whether cities should even zone at all. And think about it like this. Now, Plymouth offers, look, you can't be everything to everybody. This is something that cities have got to stop doing, this cookie cutter stuff.
Yep.
I mean, every city isn't meant to offer every single possibility of which somebody could wish to live.
Well, and they don't. And here's where they have this great term, life cycle housing. No matter what time of your life you're in, there's housing for you, except if you're looking to get into a starter home.
Yeah, exactly.
No, your starter home is going from an apartment to a luxury apartment. Your luxury apartment is your new single family home.
Or
right?
a house with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
Right. Yeah. Life cycle housing. Rent or have a big house. Those are your 2 options.
Exactly. Or if you don't want that, then you can live in one of the Winneck Green type things.
Yeah.
You live in communal living.
Yes.
You might own it, but it's still communal living. Listen to this. The community, we just asked, do they have a community and economic development director? Oh, they do.
Yes.
Danette Parr. We're excited to see these key positions work alongside each other. Only somebody in government would be excited about
Right.
this.
Nobody else
God,
is.
jeez, go straddle a goat.
They're excited because they got 2 more 6-figure positions over at City Hall.
In addition to greater efficiency, so somehow 2 more government employees are going to increase efficiency. The collaboration will offer continuously to enhance development, affordable housing, and redevelopment outcomes. Government is doing everything they can to make housing unaffordable.
Yeah.
Everything possible to make housing unaffordable. From taxes to regulations on homes to zoning to trying to get step-up homes like No Hope.
Yeah.
They are doing everything they can to do the opposite of what they're saying. Remember, as head of the cynical movement in this country, the self-appointed head, if government says something,
Yes.
9 times out of 10, the truth is 100% the opposite.
Yes.
B as in B, S as in S, Barbara Streisand.
Bologna sandwich.
It's just just horrible. Speaking of horrible, New Hope.
Oh.
Jay, you'll be glad to know that they did
favorite.
very, very well on their financial report.
Of course they did. Of course
Financial
they did.
report, however, I can't find on their website, but I can find the highlights. And of course, New Hope would not put anything out. Of course, that was just didn't make them look good. So you will know in New Hope, Jay, that the net position. By the way, okay, so June 30th, when they have to accept their audit report, and I want to say what an audit really is. An auditor doesn't walk in and say, okay, this is good spending and bad. They just analyze what's there.
Right.
Okay, so this is the highlights from the city. The city's net position increased by $11 million. So somehow they got $11 million more than they had a year ago. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
$11 million in a city of 20,000. Blah, blah, blah on the fund balances. Who cares? The city's total bonded debt decreased by almost $5 million. What they don't say is that's only 9% of their total debt. So the other 91% they still owe. But it's a good way to look at that. They make it sound good.
Yeah.
But the truth is, they're taking $11 million more in assets. Yet their total debt only decreased by $5 million. So they're sitting on more money than they. Another way to look at that is they've increased their value by $6 million of more tax dollars that they brought in. Of course, CAFRs. They're the most confusing, stupidest thing on earth. So 9% of that. So they still owe about $45 million in bonds. Oh. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
I mean, first off, almost $5 million they paid in debt payments this year. I mean, that's a ton of money.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, when people, the city portion of your taxes are like $700, think of how much money that is to the.
I know.
I love this part. At the end of the current fiscal year, the unassigned fund balance for the general fund was $8,624,063, or 51% of the total. So 51% of the money is unassigned. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, you've got police and fire. You've got roads, parks. You're telling me that money's unassigned? Not going to something?
How can they possibly...
New Hope is sitting on Fort Knox, if this is true.
Yeah, which it can't be true. Unless they bond so much that all of the tax money they take in is going into their coffers. I don't know.
Well, they've got ending fund balances of over $30 million. $30 million.
Wow.
So they've got that much money. Why do they owe $50 million in bonds? I don't get that.
Why do taxes keep going up double digits in New Hope?
Well, that's maybe how they're getting it.
Well, that could be.
Now, did we talk about the step-up homes over in New Hope?
We've mentioned it.
Well, one of the things, I don't have a link for you on this, Jay, but one of the things that they've been doing is tearing down homes and building the McMansions, just like everybody else is. They call it their step-up homes.
Yeah.
Because, of course, they have to offer life cycle housing.
Right.
So if there is a abandoned home or a foreclosed home or somebody dies, the city swoops in, tears it down, and builds a McMansion. But you'll be glad to know New Hope is promoting affordable housing.
Oh, good.
Of course, they subsidize luxury apartments by the golf course, but they support affordable housing.
I'm sure they do.
I mean, how do they get away with this junk?
Well, they have other apartments, I guess, that are not luxury. You go like across the street to what is it called, Garden City, or
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name.
Yeah, those are not luxury apartments. I don't know. I guess.
How would you buy a luxury apartment with those across the street?
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. They're not the best. And then even further down from that, you've got a big apartment building that's there, and that's not very good apartments.
No, it's not. Then you got the Winnetka Green area, which I don't know if that's owned or not. I know it's an association. Yeah, it's pretty nuts in New Hope. It's, as always, bad. It's never good. Their government couldn't screw up more. But, I'll tell you what, that city is one of those cities that's just asleep.
Yeah?
They're just asleep. They're Rip Van New Hope. Nobody will wake up over there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Oh, Jay, this is tough.
Yeah?
A lot of elections over in Robbinsdale.
Oh, yes.
The interesting thing is here's what I want to ask you. Ward 1 is a special election. No candidates filed. So what does that mean?
What? Nobody filed.
Nobody.
Somebody could have just walked in, signed up, and been on the city council.
My worry is somebody will get appointed now.
Well, that's what'll happen. Yeah.
Ward 3 has 6 people running in it.
Oh, my goodness.
Ward 4 has 4 running in it.
Really?
The candidates running, oh boy, I'll tell you what,
Yeah?
it's pretty rough. I mean, it's Minneapolis, Golden Valley, St. Louis Park-esque.
Oh, boy.
I just want to go over a couple of them.
Okay.
First one, the candidate is Mia Parasan. I almost said Pakistan. Parastan. Hold on, Jay. I don't think I sent you that.
You did not
I don't
send
think
me
I
that
sent you
one.
this league.
No. That is one I don't have.
Coming at you right now. Okay. Now, if you go to her website here in Ward 3,
When you type in Robbinsdale with big fingers, you end up getting Robbins fail. That's a lot more accurate.
that's true.
Okay.
Issues. Number 1, inclusion. Robbinsdale is making incredible strides in becoming a more inclusive community. Equity and inclusion are at the forefront in the work that I do. Oh, yippity-doo-dah. In my professional work, I create learning experiences for folks to explore what it means to be inclusive.
Well, Parisian. That's her last name.
Huh?
Mia Parisian? Is
I
she-
thought it was partisan.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. She's from Paris, apparently.
Environmental, Jay.
Yes.
I am proud to say that I'm a year-round bike commuter.
Oh, boy.
I am
This
part
is
of,
Golden Valley-esque.
I am part of a one-car family, which is a hybrid electric. So one way to remove barriers to alternative transportation is safe and accessible pedestrian and bicycle roadways. Public safety. I am eager to work with the RPD and the city manager to reimagine public safety in our community. The vision statement of the Robbinsdale Police must better reflect putting the community first. Yikes. Blue Line. I support the Blue Line LRT. And Robbinsdale residents deserve a strategic, data-driven approach to the project. I'll tell you, you know what the data-driven approach is? These suck, nobody likes them, nobody rides them.
Right. It's a big money pit. There's your data.
Yeah, watch the movie. Watch the movie with Tom Hanks and Diane from Cheers, okay? That's all you need to know there. You don't need nothing else. Okay, so that's Mia Partisan.
Wow. That's...
You think that's bad? It gets worse.
how does it get worse?
Jen Strader, Gen4MN.com. Holy cow.
Yeah?
Oh, it gets worse. I hope I hope people in Robbinsdale don't have to side between these two. My phone's got a low battery, Jay, but I'm going on.
All right.
It won't load.
Ah.
Oh, there we go. Jen Strader. Strader is greater.
Is that what it says? I
No,
didn't see that.
no,
Oh.
that's
Like,
me.
I'm on our issues page. I didn't see that.
Yes, once again, transportation. When I
Yeah.
first moved to Robbinsdale in 2014, the stupid Blue Line was supposed to be done by 2020. And of course, she's a big proponent of public transportation. When I came back from Europe, work hadn't even started. Of course, they got roundabouts first over there.
Yeah.
The light rail project will bring much needed infrastructure funding, reducing the cost to Robbinsdale residents. What? How does light rail reduce the costs?
It doesn't.
Hey, however, let me tell you something. One thing it'll do is reduce DWIs, according to her.
Oh, will
I'd
it?
like to know that. I'd like to know if light rail has actually done that or not.
It
know,
says it's an efficient and effective way to get downtown and not worry about driving back after one too many. No, but you do have to worry about getting shot if you go downtown. Maybe you should choose a different place. But here's the other thing. It's like, it also means ensuring the train is a safe place with public safety measures in place. Sorry, I didn't back up enough. That means finding safe solutions for pedestrians and cyclists to cross and creating more parking to replace what will be lost and provide for increased demand for park and ride. And it also means ensuring the train is a safe place with public safety measures in place. So what you're saying is the train is not safe, and because of that, you're going to have to spend more money to create safe solutions for pedestrians and cyclists to cross over this death trap and create it, because people get hit like every year by these things, and creating more parking to replace what will be lost. So we'll have to spend money there, provide increased demand for park and ride. Where's your numbers on that? And if there's a train, why is there more demand for park and ride if people are going to be using the train?
Well,
won't they be on the train?
They're going to try. They have to drive. They have to drive to the train. That's the problem. So I guess you can't sell your car and ride the train because you have to drive to the damn thing.
Right.
I want to skip down to citywide.
Okay.
She would like to see a $15 citywide minimum wage or higher.
Or higher. Oh, that's great.
Inclusivity. 2021 was a great year for the HRC. What the hell is that? Is that the Human Rights Commission?
Yes.
Robbinsdale had its first Juneteenth and Pride celebrations. The city charter was changed to use gender-inclusive language. And there was a ban on conversion therapy at the city level.
Oh, that's just
as a
lost cause city.
As a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, I don't have any idea what all that stands for. I would be happy to work with the HRC to have a Robbinsdale Pride event in 2023. How about this? Climate change. She supports No Mo Monday. I'm sorry, not Monday.
No Mo May.
May, you got No Mo May. What is No Mo May? You know what that is? Outlawing
lazy people that don't want to mow.
Outlawing mowing the lawn in the month of May, so a bunch of freaking critters and frogs and whatever stray foxes can get into your lawn.
I got to spend more time playing Xbox.
Yeah.
I can't mow the lawn. What?
Using Minnesota native plants in city garden projects.
You mean like maple trees?
What a priority. I mean, encouraging homeowners to plant drought-tolerant and native lawns to protect our precious water supply and our bee population.
So is that like in L.A. or Phoenix where you don't have grass and it's like sand?
No, they like paint it. Don't they like paint it green or something? Public safety. Oh, God. And of course, by the way, she supports ranked choice voting as well. Public safety. Public safety is a tough topic for Robbinsdale. We've seen an increase in crime, especially violent crime. But we need to ensure safety is done equitably.
The people better read this crap.
Well, I mean, she concedes there's an increase in crime, an increase in violent crime. But nah. We believe we have to invest in prevention. Police departments are reactionary, and of course they are. What are the police supposed to do?
This isn't Minority Report for crying out loud.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
You might carjack a car sometime in your life, so we're just going to throw you in jail for life just so you don't do it.
You tell me who does that now. That's, of course, they're reactionary.
Crime Watch, listen to this. Crime Watch prevention programs will receive diversity, equity, and inclusion training and a focus on knowing their neighbors to reduce a number of false suspicious persons reports. Now, we know what that means.
Yeah.
That means minorities. That's what she means by that.
Right. Don't be calling just because they're this color or that color. You that's no. Unless they've already stabbed somebody or stolen a car, we don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. So again, folks,
And they better be white.
Yeah, I hope people read this. I don't know if they will, but
if I were on a Crime Watch crime prevention group, I would not go to their training.
well, I mean,
I wouldn't spend one moment in that training.
well, if you're a Crime Watch prevention group, do you have to go through them?
I don't know if you have to. I don't. Did they say they were going to make it mandatory or just offer it or want to offer it?
I don't know. We're going to move
Well, it
on.
said they will receive the training.
Yeah. Move on to Jonathan Healy for Ward 3. Let's build a bigger bird town together.
Jonathan Healy. I wonder if he's related to Jeff Healy, that blind guitar player.
Yeah, or Patrick Healy from There's Something About Mary. Get the best light rail deal possible.
I could get behind that. The best deal is to stop right now.
Exactly.
Not spend another penny.
Keep Birdtown walkable. Racial equity. Ban no-knock warrants. Ban hairstyle discrimination.
What?
Yeah.
Somebody better go talk to that hippie right now.
Eliminate racial covenants.
What?
I don't know what the...
Where are you? Are you reading like a... Is there a...
I don't know if this is the first page or what, but it says topics.
Topics. What am I on? Topics, yeah. Reliable waste service. Improve city communications. Yeah, then...
Those two things I can live with.
Keep Birdtown walkable. Okay.
Protect the environment.
Oh, ban no-knock warrants is under racial equity, I see.
How about this? Solar streetlights.
Racial covenants.
Pollinator-friendly plants. Subsidize compost bins and rain barrels. In other words, make the taxpayers pay for them. Set aside 5% of capital improvement projects for renewable energy. That'll just increase bonding.
Yeah.
LGBTQ equality. Increase fines for conversion therapy torture. These people know what torture really is. Use people's preferred pronouns. House the homeless. Tell you what, they can go to your house, buddy. How about that?
If we were able to figure that one out after however many thousand years of human history.
Go to San Francisco and do that. And how about LGBTQ training for staff? As if they haven't had that shoved in their damn face enough.
Oh, I know.
$15 minimum wage. Of course, ranked choice voting.
Oh, it wants leadership accountability. This is what his website says verbatim. Revise city charter to make it easier to remove city officials for misconduct and allow the city council to appoint a council. No, it says council. Allow the city council to appoint a council member when there is a vacancy until an election can occur. Ranked choice voting for city elections. So I don't know what that is, but I don't know. Do you trust somebody that...
I don't know about that city council.
Yes.
Okay, now I got one more.
Okay.
This is in Ward 4.
Wait, continuous improvement. Did you touch on that?
No.
So we're just going to keep improving and we're not going to stop. We're just continuous. It's got to keep going. Nope. The project is not ending. We're moving on. We got to keep continuously improving.
Okay. In Ward 4.
Yes.
Listen to this knucklehead.
Okay.
Aaron Wagner. Aaron for Robbinsdale.com, where you can find this. Take a look at that photo.
All I see is the map. You mean the horse and buggy? Is that
Huh?
the one you're referring to? The horse and buggy?
Nope.
His website, Aaron Wagner for Robbinsdale, City Council Ward 4. He's got like 7 stars. He's like,
Yeah.
And then he's got the map for the Blue Line extension, a horse and a buggy, and then like some sort of crazy LGBTQ IA2S plus flag. I mean, he has more letters there than anybody else.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sure we'll get into that. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Vision, Blue Line Extension, of course, supports it, blah, blah, blah. As a welcoming community, we should do everything we can to bring people to our wonderful parks and businesses. Allowing the Blue Line Extension to move forward will increase the ease of access to all Robbinsdale has to offer. Yeah, no, it'll just bring Minneapolis closer to you. That's all it'll do there. But $15 minimum wage. Another one that supports that. More sick time. Fair scheduling. Working folks have lives outside of their jobs. It isn't fair when an employer changes their work schedule.
Wait a second.
Well, then,
go ahead and finish that thought.
and he will prioritize organized union labor for city projects.
So let me go back here. It is clear that employees must be given paid sick leave. How are you going to force the businesses of Robbinsdale to offer sick time? How is that the job of the city to enforce that a private business offers sick time?
So what? Every restaurant should offer sick. I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, you can mandate that the government offer sick time. You want to mandate that the Robbinsdale
I'm sure
city
they do.
offers it. You can do that, but you cannot tell a business, even with the issues I've had with Travail, you cannot tell Travail they have to offer sick time.
Okay.
Yes.
LGBTQIA2S plus. Why don't they just put every damn letter in there?
Yeah, they
One
will
of the
someday.
first political campaigns Aaron ever volunteered for was to help defeat the hateful anti-gay marriage amendment back in 2012. Aaron understands, though, there's still a lot of work to be done to end the social and economic discrimination. LGBTQIA2S plus
Oh boy.
people face every day. Really? I mean, I don't.
I think that people who aren't that are discriminated
Yeah,
against more than these people are.
Environment. With the entire
These people
planet.
are made into heroes, and everybody else is made into a.
Yeah, you're just if you're not a member of that, you're assumed to be a bigot.
Yep.
With the entire planet in the midst of a climate crisis, it can seem difficult for a city our size to make a meaningful difference. I tell you what, Aaron, don't try.
Yeah.
I beg you, just give up.
Not only is it difficult for you to make a meaningful difference in curing the climate crisis, it's also difficult for you to make a meaningful difference in causing the climate crisis. It works out either way.
Mother Nature is bigger than you are, pal. But hey,
Yes.
he's going to bring experts and community leaders forth to reduce Robbinsdale's carbon footprint. Isn't
Yep,
that wonderful?
that's great.
How about this? Public safety. There's no one solution to address crime, policing, rehabilitation, and prevention. Sure there is. Put the criminals in jail.
Yeah.
There.
Absolutely.
There's your thing.
That's it. Put them in jail. Keep them in jail till they pay their debt to society.
As a city, we must take a multi-pronged approach that genuinely serves our neighbors and keeps everyone safe. Impossible. And once again, his story, our country's approach to criminal justice have been reactive. Yes, we don't jail people for crimes before they happen.
Yes. Oh, but what they're talking about is this touchy-feely, we got to get to them when they're young, and we got to have programs, and we got to raise people up, and we got to stop people from becoming criminals before they become criminals.
The government's done a great job of that, haven't they? Renters' protection. The cost of living is on the rise throughout Minnesota. This disproportionately affects working people who are the majority of renters. allowing landlords to arbitrarily increase rents as much as they want puts an incredible burden on families. So does government taxing us whatever we want.
Yeah.
Why don't you put limits on that?
That would be a good start.
Of course you don't. While Aaron would like to see protections such as rent increases limits introduced immediately, Minnesota law requires that any rent stabilization measure be passed through a ballot initiative. And he will use his position on the council to support a ballot question that caps rent increases to a reasonable amount. I get a question.
Yeah.
I always say this. If why does the government always tell somebody else what they can do?
Yeah.
It's like the state putting levy limits on counties and cities.
Yeah.
Why don't you put a levy limit on yourself
That would be a great
rather
start.
than on somebody else? But of course they don't.
I'm tired of these people that come here wanting to run everybody's life, tell everybody what to do, tell everybody what's okay, what's not okay. These people, they want to sit and talk about despotism and talk about, but they're more than happy to implement it. They're more than happy to put controls on your life. They're more than happy to be big government, big brother, to be a dictator. They're more than happy to fill that role, even though they would like to talk about choice and freedom. And then none of it is choice and freedom. None of it. Instead, it is implementing. It's causing problems that they can come up with solutions for, so that they can put more controls on you.
Well, here's the thing. What is the city responsible for? Public safety,
Yep.
roads,
Yep.
parks. I mean,
Yep,
it's
I'm with
pretty
you.
simple
Yeah.
what they have to do. You read these people, and they're into every issue from minimum wage to sick time to
Yep.
what your views are on transsexuals or gays. I mean, what's any of that got to do with city government? What does that have to do with the oath that you take and the responsibility you have to the taxpayers of that city? I mean, it's like they're there to transform the city, not serve the city.
Right.
So it's just PU, Robbinsdale.
Yeah. There's some nuts going on
Robbinsdale,
here.
you stink. You stink, Robbinsdale.
But and this is what I don't understand. He goes on to say, led by the people, Robbinsdale is a changing city. While it still maintains some of its small town charm, it can no longer be considered separate from the greater Twin Cities area. When was it separate from the greater Twin Cities area? 1850?
How could it be separate? It's right smack in the middle outside of Minneapolis.
It borders Minneapolis. I mean,
hasn't been separate since,
yeah.
the Buchanan administration. I mean, it's ridiculous. God.
Yeah. Make sure you vote for your best and brightest there, Robbinsdale. That's
tough. I'll tell you, you're a loony leftist in Ward 3, though. You got a tough choice.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all out LBGQTIS.
2,
2
4.
plus 6, 7, 500, 90210. They're. How do you decide? I mean,
everybody but white people. That's how.
Pretty much.
Everybody but straight white cisgendered white people. Sorry, everybody but straight cisgendered white men. That is where we're headed with this.
It's like, do you want to be shot, hanged, or electrocuted? I mean, that's kind of your choices there.
At some point, I'm going to be like, anyone is fine. Just take me out of my misery.
And I want to see who gets appointed in Ward 1.
Yeah.
Because nobody decides to run for a special election.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't even believe nobody steps up for a special election. All you got to do is put your name in, and you don't even have to campaign, and nobody steps up. But this is what we've encountered with Robbinsdale and New Hope for so long. It's just nobody.
And I'm going to tell you something. If this happens in Plymouth, because they don't sign up till August 2nd.
Yeah.
If there's nobody in my ward on the last day, I'm doing it.
Okay.
So somebody in Plymouth better step up.
That's how I felt. If there was not going to be anybody in Section 1 or Section 2,
Wow.
I was considering it just because I could not let some nutcase come in. But
Tell you what, you have to cut that hair,
thank
Jay.
goodness that didn't happen. Yeah. Thank goodness that didn't happen. So
Imagine us both running.
Could you?
I don't know that I could do it. My heart isn't in it,
Yeah.
so I don't think I could. When I ran before, it was all I ate, slept, and drank.
Yeah.
So it just isn't
But
anymore.
here's the thing: in Crystal, I would be in the majority if I was sitting in a seat, and I'd be fine.
Hey, you got some friends there. It's being the Lone Ranger's a lot harder.
Being in a city, like New Hope or Robbinsdale. If I had to deal with,
You know what I'd do? You know what
Yeah.
I'd do? I'd vote myself for the biggest raise that I could possibly get.
really,
I'd propose a 25% increase just for me because I have to be here with these people. I need sick pay.
my
It's sick pay.
word.
It's conversion therapy. I need all of it because I have to listen to all of you.
you need conversion
Yeah.
therapy
I
because
need
you
it
have to
from.
deal with them.
I need it
That's great.
from them. The communists are
Please.
forcing me to do it.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jay, that was fun.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, all right.
Go ahead. All right,
I'll
save
save
it
it.
for
I'll
your
save it.
servant.
I'll save it. I'll save it.
All right. Once again, Community Solutions presents Jet Flying, Limousine Riding, Wheeling, Dealing, Son of a Gun, Styling, and Profiling. With the words of wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, your sign-off sermon to our 200 and whatever show.
I think 55.
Okay, 255th. If that's wrong, blame the blonde guy.
Yeah.
Community Solutions presents the sign-off sermon. Ah, dang it. Something's wrong with me today.
Well, it's rather late.
It is, but
Yes.
that's the thing that we make that sacrifice, Jay. Give us the sign-off sermon, Jason Bradley.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, you have these people that are, you cannot give conversion therapy, even if people want it and they're confused. But yet we're going to force you to believe and change your beliefs to fit ours. What? So, could you be more hypocritical? No, you really couldn't. We're going to force you to believe our way, and we're going to outlaw you even counseling somebody to think your way if they're interested in it. Yeah, great. That's fantastic. And here's the thing. And all y'all who are over on that side of the aisle, I don't get it. And maybe you can help me explain. Maybe you can reply in the comments, or you can, write a brochure or something, and maybe I'll look at it in between the mailbox and the garbage can. How you are not starting your own religion. I mean, you come down on religion, you come down on the church, but yet you got your own membership requirements, you got your own dogma, you got your own, excommunication of those that don't adhere to your tenets. How are you not a religion? It's just secular humanism. That's all it is. You're believing in yourself. You're believing in human beings. You're believing in those who believe in what you have deemed is okay. And nothing else is okay other than what you say is okay. You tell me how you're not the Inquisition. How are you not the Catholic Church from way back in? I'm not banging on the Catholic Church now. I'm talking about way back when, before Martin Luther's Reformation. You tell me how you are not that. I'd like to know. I mean, seriously, I would really like an explanation, because you are telling us if we don't believe the way that you want us to believe, that abortion is a choice and not murder, that people don't make a choice to be LGBTQIA plus C3PO. That people don't. That we're not allowed to look at the scientific facts and determine whether man has caused climate change and if there's really anything we can do about it. To not look at the science and say that, oh, if we already have a risk of running blackouts and brownouts, and then we put everybody in electric cars and charge those cars, that there's not going to be more blackouts and brownouts, and then people aren't going to have charged cars and not able to get around. That's you guys have made it so that any deviation of thought is impossible. Now, I don't usually talk to our liberal friends on this show. I usually keep it about what we as the other side of the coin need to do. However, I after this conversation, I am just confused as can be how it is so important that when it fits you, that there's choice, but when it doesn't fit you, there's not choice. How when things don't line up with your beliefs, that's got to be outlawed. The books have to be censored. The TV shows have to be taken off the air. It's okay to get rid of the First Amendment, okay to get rid of the Second Amendment, okay to get rid of the Fourth Amendment and Fifth Amendments. I mean, if it so fits what you're trying to accomplish. I am not getting it. I'm not understanding where it's okay that people are smashing and grabbing at stores because they're disadvantaged. I don't get where it's okay that we don't get to prosecute certain people because of what they are rather than who they are. I don't understand it. I don't recognize my world. And I go through every day trying to think about how in the world have we gotten here and how do we turn things around? Where does common sense enter back in? Because right now, common sense does not have a foothold in this country. It's nuts. And maybe some of you in the comments can explain some of that to me because I don't get it. All right? To those of you whom I normally talk to in this segment, are we willing to just let this go on? Are we willing to just let this continue without stepping in, without doing something about it? Because let me tell you, nature abhors a vacuum. You've heard it many times. It's true. If there are certain people that just they don't care about things like politics. They don't want power necessarily. They don't want any of this. But there are people that do, and there are enough people that do, that when those who don't stand up and do their part refuse to come in and hold back that tidal wave, that evil, and yes, I'm calling it that, can come in and there's nothing to hold it back. There is nothing to keep it at bay. You are that line of defense. That is your responsibility. It has always been. That is the way that this country has been designed. To be able to put it in the hands of the people. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. But ultimately, it comes down to us. How we live our lives every day. How we stand up for things that are important. At some point, we have to draw a line in the sand. When have we crossed that line? For me, it was a long time ago. There's no turning back. But for you, where is it? Where is it? So we're waiting on you to just step into it. To come and make something for yourself. But we can't do it just going willy-nilly through life. It's not going to work that way. So let's do this. Let's come together. Let's put our brains together. Let's step into what we were made to do. To self-govern. That is the principle that has held this country together for so many years. Self-governance. This is not a despotic country. And we have had our periods of things that we should be ashamed of, and right now is one of them. It's top of the heap. We have done some terrible things, and this is right up there at the top. Where are you? All of you that love freedom. We got to do more than vote. We got to get involved. You want to do that? You get a hold of us at commsolutionsmn@gmail.com. That is commsolutionsmn@gmail.com. For those of you that do not have primaries, you still have time to make a decision whether you're going to run for office this year or not, whether you're going to step in and help with campaigns, whether you're going to get on an advisory commission. These are things that we can do. So let's bind together. Let's do this as a united front. It's time to drop the charade that we have to reinvent the wheel because we have the best way to do things. We just got to come together and we got to do it. So let's do it. It's kumbaya time, people. It is time for us to take this to the streets. But we need you. We can't do it alone. We love you, Minnesota. And now it's your turn to get to work.
Take my